Hi, I am Sentimus Prime, and here I'll be showcasing the third component to my LEGO dynazenon MOC. This is Dyna Wing. Now, first and foremost, I'll be showing you the overall design from the midsection outward. Now, first and foremost, I'll be starting off with the middle section. And first of all, I did utilize like this nice little cockpit texture, cockpit piece with a little bit of like glittery shine to it, which is actually from the Elsa Lego Knox storybook set. This, so it came from that set, and I am glad when I have like a part that I wasn't able to use on like one of my alternate builds, but it seems so perfect here. I just like how that goes sometimes. Now, the front, you get like this nice like gray nose section up here, along with some little gray little shooting like weapons. I assume. I assume these like shoot out and stuff. Up here you do get some like a little bit of grill detailing, a little bit of vent detailings. Up here you have like this green like gem piece. You have like some slopes and stuff. Back here you have some yellow fins, like stabilizer fins. So that's nice. Now work out. You do get this section with a little bit of a gap, with a little bit of a section like cut off from there. That's fine, because that's really fine because it's accurate to the actual dynazenon design. Do you see that the front gray section does extend out to here? Does extend out farther, so it keeps that going on. I do wish I had like more red tiles and stuff to smooth the design out a little bit. But anyways, now with this section of the build, which I do want to talk about this a little closure for this section of the build. So when I was designing this part, this whole Dyna Wing thing, I did and worked in like the engineering and stuff, and did like an early design for this. And when I attached onto the rest of the wings, it made these parts like way too big and way too heavy. So later on I was so when I saw the proportions didn't work out and it was way too heavy for anything to stay stable, I would end up shrinking everything, end up compressing this design down and sleeking it out until it looks more like this. And I do think it did turn out really well. It's still able to do all the engineering and stuff. It's just more slimmed down. So you can see there's a nice long black stripe across there. Here you have a little more of that gray front section extending out to the wings. Do get a nice look at the cannons at the front. Looks pretty good. Oh, at least I think so anyways. I do like how I was able to work this in. So the insides of these cannons, or as the show calls them, the something beams. I absolutely love that name for this weapon. But anyways, for the something beams, I was able to so the basic design for this, this part isn't really connected. It's really a black rod. It's really a black lightsaber piece. That's really connected through here, and I connect this little cone piece, which is basically sandwiching. It's basically sandwiched this piece in, so it's not really. So this part's not really connected, but it's nice, and I feel like it works. So anyways, let's move on to the bottom and stuff. So here we have the bottom of how it looks from the underside, or the middle. You do get these little armature things, which is gonna be needed for transformations and combining and stuff. We have on these sections do have these little builds. Those are going to be, I'm going to be utilizing those later, but these, whoopsies. So anyways, these are going to be basically used for different various transformations and stuff. Let's move this out of the way so I can show you this section. Now I did put a yellow stripe on the underside of these wings to make it look more accurate to how the other Dyna wing looks. The Modroid one, at least. Whoops. These parts do come off sometimes. So anyways, with that done, I can show you some of its features and articulation. So feature wise, the cockpit section can open. It reveals pretty much nothing. It's really unnecessary because Dyna Wing's cockpit never really opens up in the show. It's really just there because that's how it's connected. And then obviously these little stabilizers can articulate around. They can swivel around that way. You can adjust them and all that. And all that. Really nice. This section of the wing is on a double ratchet joint. And you do get an excellent range of motion out of that. And it can move a little more out of the way when moving around that smaller section in the middle. But I will exercise caution because, as I figure out while designing this, that this midsection can be kind of fragile, just a little bit. The ratchet joints in here like to come off a lot while posing this around. But hey, it's nice for the trade-off of stability. I think that's for nice stability and for the wings, I think that's a decent enough trade-off as long as I'm like careful at like where the weak points are. I think it's alright. Now for other articulation, this section of the wing is on a double hinge joint piece, so you do get a nice range of motion out of that. Very nice. And man, it's Lego. Stuff likes to fall off. And finally, these something beams are on a ball joint here and a ball joint here, so you do get an excellent range of motion out of these something beams alone. I could, if I want, I could even have them up and over like that. The official one is not supposed to do that, but this one can. The moderate. And these can even adjust to be basically the landing gear for Dyna Wing. And it does have an incredibly long wingspan. I do like how that wingspan turned out. I can barely keep it fully in frame. And I say that's is a-okay for me to show you some size comparisons. First of all, here he is next to a minifigure. See that the minifigure really won't fit in the cockpit or anything, because I really wasn't trying to add that feature. But you can see that this is a pretty sizable little jet thing. Little jet. For another random comparison, here it is next to my Monster Book of Fairy Tales alternate build. Really just because it shares, really just because I utilize one of the pieces. And here he is. Here it is next to Dyna Soldier and Dyna Diver. Can I keep? There we go. Here it is next to my Dyna Soldier and Dyna Diver. And lastly, here is my Lego Dyna Wing MOC. Next to, or I guess behind, the Modroid Dyna Wing. Now I will briefly show how similar these two are. Now on here, the cockpit piece is much larger. I do like how angled it is. It's a really nice piece, and it really works. And I feel like it really works. Now, you may notice a good sum of similarities, as well as a good sum of differences, such as the Modroid Dyna Wing has this middle stabilizer thing, whereas on this one it really doesn't have that. And there's also minor stuff like the vents, the vent layouts and stuff is different. And if we flip these two components over, you can see that these sections are attached differently than on my MOC. It's really where I was able to put these sections. And here's a comparison of the wings from the rear, as well as the something beams, which these ones are also used for landing gear. And here's the two wing, and here are the two wing designs next to each other. So there's that. And also, there's also I was also able to integrate a combination mode between Dyna Wing and Dyna Soldier. So let's get to that. So to prep Dyna Soldier for this combination, we've really gotta, first of all, not have parts fall off, and second of all, flip the tail up so it's like sandwiched in this jaw piece. Then what you're going to do is take Dyna Wing, take these sections off, and rotate these down and attach these on under here like so. So these studs here from this ball joint piece will go to these gray anti-studs and have it so the orientation of these pieces look somewhere along the lines of this, and have them so these black pieces are facing towards the top of the vehicle. Then rotate these wings upward and then rotate these sections of the wings downwards. So it kind of looks like this. Then do the same with the other side. And then next will be attaching this onto the back of the soldier using these like hinge pieces, like clip pieces. They'll be attaching to the little clips on its back, and they clip on like so. And then finally, which is honestly should have been the first step, rotate these shins on Dyna Soldier upside down. And if you have the stickers, it will do this. It will give off the illusion that these thrusters are like fired up and ready to go. I do like how I was able to use the stickers. But anyway, so there basically have it, the combination between Dyna Wing and Dyna Soldier. Now, I will say, it doesn't stay on that well, it's only attached by those little hinges. So, you can use the something beams as basic like supports. And it's basic supports. That works, I guess. Here's how it looks from the side. Very thin connections going on. And here's how it looks from the back. It's a sort of connection. Now, I will say, out of the separate connections, out of the separate combination modes for Dyna Soldier, I do personally think that the connection between the combination between Dyna Soldier and Dyna Wing is, in my opinion, is easily the most frustrating to combine and discombine, particularly to detach, because obviously it can come apart pretty easily. And there's like, honestly, a fair bit that like goes wrong when combining and like separating these two components. It's easily the most frustrating, in my opinion. Now, getting these components separated out again. Okay. Getting those pieces, attaching them back to the wings. Now this MOC does Like, man, a better connection for those would be nice. But that was really what I was able to come up with. So there's that. I do overall think this build turned out pretty good. I wasn't really as happy with it, when I, first, put it together, mostly because of, the size of the wings, but as I, modified it over and over, I do start liking it more and more, and I think it looks pretty good. And with that, I think that'll be it for this showcase. If you liked the video, please consider to like and subscribe, and maybe even comments or something. And of course, I will be posting again sooner or later.